Play some Rose. Play some Rose. Gracias, señor D.
They're out here, but they're really out here.
You know.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Welcome to another episode of Now You Know.
Let's go.
And you already know Tito is always turned up every damn time, no matter what. He's already too lit before I even get in here.
It's lit.
Our special guest today is truly family.
Yo,
Yeah.
Truly
For real,
family.
for real.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it was a surprise to me. And when he walked
Talk
up to
about
me
my
and said, hey,
public
man, I'm going to be
relationship.
on the show, I was like, wait a minute.
You didn't know?
I was like, wait a minute. And then I looked from a text later, and Tito says, yo, I got a guest coming in. I was like, word? Okay. I like
Straight up.
So, you know what, man? Tito, you invited him, and I was surprised, but I appreciate this man
Yes,
coming through.
sir.
I got to say that first and foremost. But I'll let you do the proper introduction to this gentleman here.
Yo, on-air personality, entrepreneur as well, DJ. Yeah, this is my brother, bro. And that's I play both. Yo, can I tell a funny story? Backstory, bro. This is crazy.
Okay.
Before I introduce him. So, I was at the gym that I go to and play ball there, da. I see the men coming in. So I see him hooping. And I'm like, shit, yo, that's a homeboy from the radio, from the morning show.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck it, let me approach. And I was like, but he don't look like, because he's dressed differently, because he's in his gym gear, you know what I mean? So I go up to him, I was like, bro, you look so familiar. And then he goes like, well, like, where do you work? Da. And I'm like, dude, you're the guy from the morning show. I'm the kid from the promotions team. I'm Maxima. Yo, so the homie dabbed it, and then we play some ball. But funny enough, right before we're going to play, he receives a phone call, and I'm like, damn, he got to go, so then we're going to play with him. Bro, the homie hanged up after he talked on the phone. He played ball with me. So, like, I appreciate him for that, because that meant a lot. This is my brother, DAVY Rolando. Make some noise, bro.
You know.
Welcome,
Happy
brother.
to be here, man. Appreciate the invitation and absolutely the introduction. That was great.
Yeah,
That was the
you
best
see, that
introduction ever. Yeah. Yo, on the real, me and Neil have hooped a few times, and Neil whoops me. He really does. I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass.
Oh, no.
Yo, Neil can hoop. He can hoop too.
This man being real generous.
Then he's gone.
Nah, y'all boys some hoopers. I seen both of y'all get it in.
All right, well, we're going to get into the truth very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Just stay
I set
tuned.
you free.
But yeah, man, that was fun. I didn't even expect him to come out on the court and hoop either. That's crazy.
Word.
He showed
Yeah,
love,
man.
bro.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
was
Yeah, I
like,
love basketball.
okay.
I played basketball today. I love it, man.
When did you start playing?
I started playing probably about 8th grade. I'm not good. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not good
like,
by
yo,
any...
Nah,
by
there's
any
guys
sort
over
of
there that's
sense.
like,
That's Steph Curry, bro.
No.
Automatic,
No,
bro.
Not at all.
Yo.
Not at all. These guys are gassing because I'm a guest in their home, so they're gassing y'all. But please don't see me on the basketball court and think I'm nice, and then try to call me out, and then I get dunked on. No, man, I ain't got time for that.
Hey, off
Today,
camera.
I'm
Yo, Dummy, one-on-one right now. One-on-one right now.
I was working on my free throws today in case any of y'all fouled me. Y'all wildin'.
Oh, man. Davy off camera just said he was playing Tito for $100.
Oh, man.
Yo. So that happened. And then, like, a few days later, after we ball, we just get a time to talk, bro. And funny enough, I didn't tell you this when you talked to me that time. Like, that week for me was, like, very, like mentally challenging, because there was a lot of adjusting happening and a lot of changes. And that's when you share how you started in the radio industry.
Yeah,
So,
we had a little chat at
bro,
the gym.
funny enough, that conversation uplifted me, and I was able to become aware and see perspective. And that's why, funny enough, it was just I thought it was going to be like a quick conversation, but if you notice, like, I prolonged it too, because I started asking you questions.
Yeah.
And you were kind enough to like share like your experience and your truth. and that fucking helped me a lot, bro.
Really?
I
Oh man, that's
needed
what's up, bro. I like to hear that. I'm glad you asked me, homie. And any kind of questions you have, like, it's very important to any kind of knowledge, anything, any experience, to pass it on. You know,
that's real, bro.
To as many people as possible, and especially people that we all work in the same building. We all, we basically all chasing the same dream.
Yo, for real.
So I give some reggaeton horns to that. When you say good stuff like that, we like that positive vibe.
Yeah,
so
man,
we
absolutely.
like to enlighten on it.
Okay.
Just a little something, man, because we, a lot of people say negative stuff, so we kind of emphasize on the positive.
We celebrate the positivity.
Instead of, we might, get on a topic that may be negative. But we always be positive.
I mean, when I first started at the radio station, I'm sure we'll get into the wins in the house and all that. Yeah. But like when I first started and I was out there like running the streets on the street team, like
you were on the street team,
yeah, absolutely, man. And I was on the street team for a while, and when I was out there like running the streets, Heat was out there doing the club circuit in Ybor, and you would always show mad love. I remember being at Empire many nights.
DJ.
Yeah, sure. many nights I'd be in there, and I would be so glad that because at this point everything was pretty new to me, and so I was really happy that I knew the DJ, because the club would be absolutely on smash. You couldn't even breathe in that bitch.
It was crazy.
But I would just hang out in the DJ booth. yeah, man, absolutely. So it all comes full circle. So I'm glad to see that you stuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you've been holding it down for a long time in the Bay Area. Definitely paid dues, earned stripes, dealt with the same people that I've dealt with. So it's an honor to be back.
Yeah, man, I appreciate
that. Yo, play reggaeton horns for that, bro.
What?
Yeah.
My DJ, not your average DJ.
Don't let Heat fool you.
I'm saying.
Before
I'm trying
he
to tell
became,
him.
like the whole family man and everything.
Yeah,
like,
I'm saying.
Like, Heat was out there killing the clubs, but like consistently.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Tell him.
For real, man. The club.
The club
is shut down now. Like the club ain't even there no more. That's how much damage this man did. They had to shut down the whole club. They had to take the liquor license. They put a big lock on the door. I'm telling you, go to Ybor and find out. Try to go to Empire. You're going to be looking.
Oh, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it was, man, I enjoyed it, though, man. And one thing that I can say is that what I've learned in that time was the only thing that I can't get back.
Right.
So I appreciate the time that I put in. And as you said, you recognize it and stuff like that. But I also looked at it as...
that's real, bro.
Every Saturday for 5 years in a row, I didn't take one day off.
For sure. Oh, yeah. I know.
I know.
I know,
like,
man.
Sick. Like, I never called out.
Yeah.
I might have had somebody fill in for a couple hours till I showed up.
Because you probably had booked something else. Yeah. The thing about DJing, man, is when you start getting there and, like, getting good gigs, like, you can make good cash. Like, you really can. You can make good money. Yeah. And, I mean, take advantage of it, bro. Yeah. Absolutely. But you didn't stop there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people peak there. Yeah. A lot of people peak at the popping clubs.
Yeah.
But you got to carve your own lane.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you guys are doing. You carving your own lane. And that's what it takes is growth, it's expansion, cuz the thing is, for the ego of the DJ, being in that popping club every Saturday night is great.
Yeah.
Right. But really for your brand, you're in the same little hole. Not that it's a hole, it's a popping club, but the same kind of group of people that go out there, and you're kind of recycling your crowd. And so there's nothing wrong with those residencies and holding it down. But ultimately, you just got to know when enough is enough.
Exactly.
And when it's time to move on. And I've had clubs that I've had felt that way, and they're still popping. Yeah. It's easy to say it's time to move on once it starts getting a little slower.
Right.
But sometimes you just it's everything is timing, man. Everything is timing. You go in, you go out. But if you smart, what you do is you don't just give it away, you pass it down. You hand it down to somebody that you trust.
Exactly.
Because this is something that you built. This is something you care about. After
sure.
you stop, you still sometimes go back and show love and see those people. So you don't want to just give it away. That's one of the beautiful things about DJing is that you can teach. And then once that person is ready, then they can start opening up for you. And somebody that's not a DJ, so like you might be booked to DJ from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. That's a long time. But you could bring somebody on to do from 10 to 11:30, and then for them it's great experience, it's great practice. For you it's also cool because you get a little bit of time to vibe, kind of see your people and stuff like that, and then you go in and then you smash the club and get it shut down. Now we can't go party there anymore.
Exactly. But now I got Tito to do it all over again.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're gonna go find some other spots. Let's go, Tito.
Let's go. Beware.
You to 10 to 11:30.
11:45.
If you learn it, we give you 11:45.
I started learning.
That's how it is, man.
Yo, man. You told me also about your schooling.
Schooling, yeah, man. So originally I'm from here, man. I'm from Tampa. I'm a Tampa boy, and I feel so lucky to be able to be on the big station in my hometown.
More fire.
There's really nowhere else I'd rather be. Like I have roots here, and I'm so happy to be a Wild. So yeah, I'm a Tampa boy. I went to a school called Full Sail in Orlando, and did that
for real.
Yeah. Did that. That was a challenge. Yeah, that was a challenge, but it was a test of will. And then
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, man, because it's one of those things that school is a little different, man. You can't just go in there until you're ready. You really have to be, because the schedule there is so demanding. You can't work. You can't. You have to go to that school with your living expenses already kind of set aside. Yeah, because the schedule is just, you could be like the guy that, team no sleep. I'm just gonna, no, you can't work. You can't work because A, the schedule keeps changing. But B, you leave with so much more work and studying to do, it's literally impossible. So boom, knocked that out. And then from there, it was internship time. And honestly, to be 100, I was never like, I wasn't a big radio listener growing up. I was a CD guy. Really? I was at Sam Goody every Tuesday. I knew exactly, I knew what albums were dropping this week, last week. I bought everything. I read all the credits. I memorized the producers and what labels. I knew what was coming out the next week. If we were lucky enough that sometimes they printed the lyrics, remember that? Oh, bro, I'm reading all the lyrics. Yeah. So the crazy thing about that is that, like, I'm going to Full Sail and I'm about to graduate, and now I'm thinking about, like, yo, where am I gonna work? And for the longest time, radio didn't even cross my mind, because, like, we went to school for something very specific, which is working in a recording studio, recording bands and rappers and singers and stuff like that. So everybody was looking for those jobs. I kind of knew early on in the process that I didn't want to do that. I just kind of knew it. I wasn't the best at it, and I just felt like, I know some amazing engineers. Yeah. But I wasn't one of them.
or wanted to be one.
Yeah, I don't think I could have gotten to that point. You know what I'm saying? So when radio kind of came into my vision, it was like, yes, this is it. Because I always knew that, like, my best skills were, like, with people and with, like, talking and with, like, more of, like, the personality. And the relationship building and stuff like that. All things that I felt engineering wasn't necessarily gonna, like, cater to my assets.
Not like the technical side.
Exactly. I'm not that patient. I have ADD. I get lost in thoughts.
Sounds like heat.
Yeah. So
that's most DJs.
And honestly, the first time that radio was even brought up, it was a crazy situation, man. I was like less than a month away from graduating. And I met this girl who lived in St. Pete. And this girl had just moved out of her mom's house. Like, for the first time, she was living by herself. and it like freaked her out. Freaked her out. So like me and this girl, we're talking, and we just started talking like a couple weeks ago. And but it's time for me. I'm about to graduate. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and she's like, "I just moved right down by 98.7." Like it was wild. And she's like, "You should apply for an internship, and if you get it, you can move in with me." I was like, bet.
Wow,
so, bro, let me tell you, I applied so many different places, and WiLD was the only people that even hit me back. They even hit me back. And so basically, I find myself living with this girl that I essentially just met. We're like 3 weeks in.
Shorty came through. Yo, play reggaeton for Shorty, bro. Yo, a real one.
Yeah, a real one.
Yeah, one time for the one time, yo.
I mean, honestly, without that situation, I probably wouldn't have been able, because I was an intern, man. I wasn't getting paid. And then that's when I first, so I get my internship, knock that out, 240 hours, boom, I'm here all day, every day. I'm just running through the hours. And then I got hired on the street team. But I see, obviously, a lot of the people, most of the people on the street team, the gold promotions, they want to be on air, and I myself included. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an on-air personality. But what I noticed was there was a lot of people that had other things that kept taking them away from the station.
Yeah, you know mentioned that, bro. Yeah,
be it a job, be it family, whatever it may be. And you can't control your situation. But I was in a situation where I was just with this chick. She was working all day, every day, supporting my
Teach me your ways.
But,
teach me your ways,
I just said that, like, yo, I need to figure out a side hustle, but it has to be music. It has to be music related, because that's what's in my blood. Like, that's all I know. I didn't just kill myself at this school to go work at Applebee's. You know, like, shout out to anybody working at Applebee's. But
we want the sponsorship. Let's go.
But so that's when I started DJing. That was my pretty much. I did a little bit of DJing, little house parties in high school. I had some bootleg turntables, but like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just having fun. Whatever. Nah. So when I started at the radio station, that's when I first really took it seriously. I had a homeboy, one of my best friends still to this day, my boy Matthias. Shout out my dog. That's my brother. Yeah, that's my brother. And so he had just gotten his turntables. Matthias is a dope DJ.
Yeah.
And he had just gotten his setup. And so I was just at his house every day, like, yo, we gonna work on this until we're good enough to go do a gig for $50. You will never in your life ever hear me bang or talk shit about a $50 DJ. Never. You will never hear me talk that. Nothing. Because there's levels to this. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this.
Preach.
And we all gotta start somewhere. Because there's guys, they're not if you put in the work and really, try to perfect your craft, you're not going to be a $50 DJ for long. You know what I'm saying? But you got to start somewhere, because there are $50 venues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's these little bars and these little restaurants and stuff like that. Who cares? Go get your money. Go get your experience. Go test it out. Go and you're gonna meet a bunch of people. And then that Tuesday night's gonna turn into a Thursday night. And then Tuesday and Thursday, now you just got booked for a Saturday, and now you can get $75. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was that guy. But what it did was it supplemented my income, where now I could sustain myself, because street team was damn near minimum wage. You feel me? And it was but with all those different hustles, it allows you to ultimately, the biggest benefit was learning the DJ game. And anytime WiLD called or asked me for something, I was always available. I was always able to drop whatever I was doing, because whatever I was doing wasn't more important than this, than chasing the dream. That's what it's all about. That's what it's still all about.
It's career over romance, bro.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
True,
and like, I'm in a relationship now, and I've been in a relationship for a while. And the reason that it works is because she gets that. You need somebody that really gets it. Ultimately, me and the first chick, she needed more of me than I was able to give her,
more demanding.
especially at the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the time, I was so focused, and it just wasn't fair for either of us. That's what the kind of made that situation not work. But I mean, it's all about that dedication, and you got to dedicate yourself to the craft, and then you start getting better and you get more confident. And like for me on the DJ tip, the biggest thing that I ever did, I'll give y'all all the game. I'll tell you exactly how. Look, listen, man. People ask me all the time.
Dobby enjoying himself over here. He's like, my man got everything.
I didn't know you was deep like that with the sound. Yo,
production god 666.
I'm gonna give you some free game right here. I get asked all the time.
You better make your free throws. Cause why? Because they free.
I get asked all the time, like how to get gigs. How to get more gigs and things like that. The best gig that I ever had in my whole life, it was this spot. It was a Tuesday night. Tuesday night. And look, it came about it like this. Me and my partner, the guy I was just speaking of, Matthias, we was on that grind, and we were like, what are we going to do? We were out every night. We're just DJing. We're networking. We're just building like little friends and little following. Okay? So we go to this club. This was actually him. This was him. He put me on game, so it's all about giving the game up. He goes to this club.
Each one.
Big, beautiful. It was a big spot. It was in Pinellas County. I don't want to give them too much pub, but it was a big spot out there in Pinellas County. It was like a biker place. They didn't do anything hip hop, right? My boy goes in there and he goes, "What's the slowest night you got?" Dude goes, "Tuesdays. I'm thinking about not even being open on Tuesdays."
Wow.
My boy said, "Look, this is what I want. I want the door, and I want 20% of the bar." First of all, even a club giving you any percent of the bar is unheard of. They don't do that because that's how they make their money. Yeah. But so don't even worry about that part. That was just an anomaly. We got lucky with that. But the dude was like, I don't even charge people to get in here. He basically laughed. He's like, you want the door of a free spot? We're like, yeah, give it to us, and 20% of the bar. This guy's in a spot where he's not even about to be open. So he's like, what do I have to lose? Let's get it. We're like, yo, we need 6 weeks. Give us 6 weeks, deal for 6 weeks. This is our agreement, and let's see, we'll come to the table after that. So we got all of those people that have been going to and following us around and this and that, and now we made it their home. We're not charging them. We're supposed to be getting the door, but we're not charging we're not charging anybody. Yeah. And I was DJing for free. My boy was promoting it for free. We were just holding down, but what we did was we made it fun. We had beer pong. We had flip cup. We did wet t-shirt contests. We did booty shake contests. We did little concerts, things like that. As we grow, now we can start charging. You know what I'm saying? Now you can start charging. You're not charging a lot. You're charging like $5. $5 to get in, maybe $7 if you're under 21 because they're taking that little, that little liability. But yo, you build.
I need ID. Ain't no R. Kelly.
But think about it, dog. You get. Let's talk low numbers, man. You get 100 people in the door, you charging between $5 and $7. Now at the end of the night, you and your boy are splitting $500-600. You have expenses because you're buying all your friends drinks and stuff like that. But now you're making a little bit of money. So now that's very, very doable. 100 people from within 5-6 hours, you could do that if people are rocking with you. So we built that spot where we were getting 500-600 people every single Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Now we're charging $10 a head. We're still making 20% of the bar. The bar's making 3 or 4 stacks. You know what I'm saying? So that little situation paid all my bills, but to the point that it made myself super available for this. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It was just about finding that lane, and then it was a great situation for a while. We did concerts. We brought some artists. We did a lot of damage. It was getting out of control. It really was. It was getting out of control. A lot of it had to do with the owners. A lot of it had to do with the owner because when we came in the game, he had never done a hip hop. It was a biker bar. He had never done hip hop before. Wow. So we knew what we were dealing with. We had hella security. We had promoters. All these people that felt like this was their home base. If there was ever a situation, a fight, anything, they would diffuse it. We wouldn't. So, but then he started having a bunch of hip hop nights. It kind of screwed it. That's why I didn't want to give him the pub. And that's when you have to pull out. That's when you had to. That was what I was speaking about. That's when you have to. Stupid strong. That's when you have to know. You have to know when it's run its course.
For sure.
Like what we were talking about earlier.
That happens often. Though.
It does, bro.
And it's a continuous thing you have to deal with.
For real?
So yeah, because everywhere you go, you do the same thing. And when you build the traffic, they want to kind of replicate that. Yeah, it's like when when WiLD and Out was there, right? Or ridiculousness, and then people try to copy those same kind of
concepts.
But they're doing shortcuts.
Exactly.
You know, they're not taking the same care of it.
Exactly.
Because you kind of built it for them. Because you got a spot that was never known for something. Now it's known for something. Now you try to do it 4 or 5 times in a week. It dilutes it. You know, we had a kid. The way that it really fell apart. We had a kid almost die in the parking lot, man. There was, like I would say, we would have our people, if there was ever kind of like a fight or anything, we had hella security, but we were really good at diffusing situations where the fight never happened. And that's what happened in this case. This kid was about to bump. He got kind of kicked out. Everybody thought it was done, but he was so mad. He was going to his ride or whatever, and he punched a car window. Bow! And when he went to take his arm out, he like severed something, cut. He almost bled out in the parking lot. Had to be bailifted out. But by this time, the club was already getting a little bit out of control. Wow. So with that, the cops were like, this is a problem. Yeah. So then the next Tuesday, we got like 4 or 5 cops right across the street, and they're pulling people over, leaving the club. Yeah. Boy, that club shut down so bad. Like that night was over. When your patrons start to get pulled over when they're leaving, it was over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn.
That's crazy.
Club life's crazy, man.
Sad, bro.
It's true, man.
Yo, play that soundbite. Yo, I didn't emphasize this feeling. There you go.
It's a lot of money to get in the game, man. There's different ways to get it. You gotta expand your brand. You gotta find new lanes. You gotta just look for it, man. There's a lot of opportunity out here.
And speaking about that, you picked another lane that I didn't think that you would pick.
I got a couple lanes, Heat. I got a couple lanes. We could talk about all of them.
I'm gonna start off by saying, man, the tattoo soap.
Oh, the tattoo soap. Yeah,
man. I'm like, yo, when the brother come up with his own idea,
product, bro.
I gotta say, yo,
yeah.
Big.
You know what?
Yeah, big one.
Honestly, the tattoo soap, it's a product that myself and my partner, his name's Dallas Tattoo, we launched it January 1st of this year. It's a tattoo aftercare soap. It's antibacterial, unscented soap. Exactly what you need to properly take care of a tat. And I honestly have to give my partner all the credit in the world. This was his idea. The whole thing was his idea.
Wow. For real,
for the homie.
Really. Yeah, shout out to
him. I kind of came in, I'm good at like organizing business type stuff, man. I came in with a plan. He told me the idea one day as we were tatting, as he was giving me a tat. And the interesting thing was that, like, me and him at the time, like, now this is my dog, this is my brother, but me and him at the time had only met a few different times. So at first, I was almost, like, reluctant because I really didn't know him that well.
Yeah.
But I thought the idea was fire. And then...
And you knew right away, or, like, it took you, like a day to be like, this kind of fire.
It took me a couple hours, to be honest with you, because
that's pretty quick.
Well, I was getting tatted at the time, and I can't really concentrate about it. I was like, yes, okay.
He tortured you. That's a form of torture,
bro. I might have a few of them, but like that shit hurts, man. I'm not a fan of getting them. I ain't even gonna lie. But I went home and I thought about it. Yo, this is a good idea because I remember him saying this.
Hits blunts
one time and was like, yo, I remember him saying there's nothing like it on the market. That was what really intrigued me. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, I'm down to go in with you on this. but just know, these were my words. I was like, but just know, I'm going to be on your ass about it. Because that's the only way you can do business. You have to be on it daily.
Yeah.
You know? So he's like, bet, that's what I need. I've been sitting on this idea for a minute. I need somebody on my ass.
Yo.
So after that conversation, yeah.
Way to go, Tito.
After that conversation, it was go time. You know what I'm saying? It was time to, formulate a business plan, find a manufacturer, think of a promotion strategy,
that's so
a logo,
dope, man. That was dope.
Different avenues, revenue funnels, different, just a bunch of different ways to do it. And it's still in its infancy. It's still in its infancy. What I am really happy to announce is that him and I, that same guy, my boy Dollars, we're getting ready to open a tattoo shop.
Yo, that's exclusive. Extended rectal horn.
Yeah, we're getting ready to open up a shop. We've been working on that for a while. I'm a big believer in making more moves and less announcements. So like sometimes I just like to drop it.
You heard that?
People. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll talk about it here in a second. But like I just dropped a record.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll get into it. But there wasn't a lot of like pre-hype. Sometimes to a fault. Announcements and pre-build up is good. But I like to drop stuff. So like even with the tattoo shop, probably a handful of people know at this point still, and we're almost done with it. It's almost like ready to get inspections.
Yo.
Like it's not an idea. It's not like we
brainstorming.
It's furnished. It's ready to. It's pretty much. It's almost ready to go. It's like
that's probably where I'm gonna go get my next one. Then
me too.
I just want to show support, man. That's
Thank you, bro. Absolutely.
Run an interview there too, yo. That would be dope.
And we could do that. Man. We could do that. And you were talking about Tampa Tony earlier, and like we did. Tony showed a lot of love with the soap. We got Tony. We did Tony's. My boy Dollars did Tampa Tony's King of Juke City tat.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was a promo for the tattoo soap. And and then we break the news about the shop here. And it all comes full circle. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. And to even
marketing 101.
To take it one step further, this is deep. And this really just hit me like today when I was actually walking in the building. So like I said, we were talking about, I just dropped a record. Yeah. It's called Bottle Girls.
Bottle Girl.
I like that, man.
Real excited about that. I just dropped it a couple days ago. It's doing good. It's getting really good feedback. Tony's on it.
Yeah.
With Tom G. And Young Dread.
Okay.
Co-produced myself and my boy Knowledge. And we just dropped it. And what's interesting and what really hit me about it is that you were there the day it happened. I don't know if you realized that. So I have.
That's when you went to that.
Yeah.
To the DJ coalition. So we've been putting together this group of DJs that meet. We try to meet maybe once a month, once every 6 weeks or whatever. It was just an idea that I have a friend who works in New York. He has a record label. He does different things. Shout out my man Derek. And
horns for that.
And Derek's actually built this model in different markets. They have these DJ groups that just meet and they network and they just kick ideas and stuff like that. So he came to me and was like, "Yo, you should start one in Tampa." I was like, "Great, that's a great idea." Yeah. So
I know that
the first one was the one that what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. I reached out to all the DJs I knew pretty much. I didn't know who was going to show up, who was going to. It was a mystery.
I'll tell you who showed up. Heat, bro.
He definitely showed up.
Heat show up, bro.
We rented a studio. I got a studio for 4 hours, and I called Tom G, I called Tampa Tony, and I called Young Dread. Just three of the artists out here that I respect the most. They're super talented. They take this very seriously. Yeah. They're on it every single day, and all of them have built a name for themselves individually. I felt like, I don't know if all my DJs have met all these guys. Let's just all get in a room together.
Yeah.
Why not? So we get a studio. Yeah. We have a great session. It was no There's no itinerary. There's no ulterior motives. It was just like, yo, let's just let's just listen to some music. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's meet each other. Let's switch information. Maybe there's something I could do for you, something you could do for me.
Help
and
each
then
other.
It was such a good
Break
vibe.
some horns for that, Heath, please. Yes, sir.
Good vibes.
It was
man.
a great vibe.
Yeah.
And then once, the DJ meetup kind of ended, everybody kind of left, we stayed in the studio. And we cooked up Bottle Girls. Really, that's how it happened. We stayed in the studio. We just thought of a concept, and I mean, if you have 3 talented, super and like smart, ready to go, motivated artists,
gonna come up with something.
We got producers. We're in the studio. The vibe is right. We just all had a great session with a bunch of the poppin'est DJs. It just flows out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one of the coolest things about that event was we had DJs from different radio stations that don't necessarily, we all kind of rock with each other, but we're not really like in the same place at the same time.
Right.
At least myself, I don't get those opportunities. We had DJs that are like tour DJs for big artists. Like my boy's a tour DJ for Rod Wave. He was there. We have and then we had mixtape guys, we had club guys, strip club guys, dudes that are really just trying to figure it out. That's cool too. You invited to the party too, because why not? Why not?
Yeah.
So it was just all that to say that it came together very organically, and that's why it feels good. I really, honestly, never, at least at that moment, wasn't thinking like, yo, I'm gonna make a record, we're gonna do this. It just came together.
It happened to be that way because the vibe was right.
The session was so good that we booked another one like a couple days later. So we got a couple more records.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, man.
sure. That's
So
what's
Bottle
up,
Girls
man.
is out now. It's everywhere. If you're seeing this, stream it, download it. It's on iTunes. It's on everywhere. Shazam, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. It's there. The DJs got it. We have a bunch of remixes on the way. Like the DJs have already been rocking with the remixes. We're gonna sit on those for a little bit. We're shooting a video here in a little while. Both of y'all boys, you're more than invited.
What?
We'll get y'all cameos on and everything like that.
Yo.
And
Make sure you copy it out. Yeah, make sure you record that well.
And to be honest with you, the video, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Like the video is gonna be, it obviously is Bottle Girls, so the ladies are gonna be heavy. But any dude that you see in there is gonna be like a DJ, or it's gonna be like somebody in the industry.
For sure.
Because I feel like that unity is really
needed.
missing. You know
The
what I'm
unity.
saying? Like so,
The unity.
and the support, man. It's all about supporting each other, bro. It's a win-win situation. Positive vibes, like y'all boys were saying, right?
Sure, man.
So
That was good. That was really
we
good
real
vibes.
excited.
That was
We
good
real
stuff.
excited about the video. Real excited about the record. And man, the DJs are loving it. I'm getting a bunch of like DMs from ladies who are shooting their own videos. Like the Bottle Girls are really gravitating towards
Bottle
it.
Girls challenge, bro. You imagine that? Make that happen.
Bro, ultimately, I feel like the Bottle Girls are so underrepresented and so overvalued. Like they're the baddest chicks in the club 9 times out of 10.
I know a couple shorties.
They need an anthem. Shorty needs an anthem. You know what I'm saying?
Shorty needs to feel represented, bro.
So she
like
got
that.
one now. She got one.
Yo.
Okay. Shout out to the
Supply and
ladies, man,
demand,
on that.
baby. Yo,
Yeah,
play that for the Bottle Girls.
He wants in there.
Shorty at club, you know what I mean? I see you.
So that's it, man. We just working, trying to stay consistent.
Word.
Obviously, check your boy out Monday through Friday on Orlando and the Freak Show, Wild 94.1.
Rightfully so.
We do that thing every morning, 6 to 10. And you know what? Always got to keep that in perspective. That is like the avenue that allows me to do like a lot of the other stuff. Like
How did the opportunity for the morning show happen?
How did that happen? Preparation, bro. So back to this being on the street team. We'll rewind it a little bit. I was on the street team for a while. I started board hopping. You know what I'm saying? If anybody that doesn't know, that means you're just you're running the broadcast. Sometimes there'll be like a live broadcast. Saturday, Friday night or something like that. You hear it on the radio, but you never think of the person that's in the studio at 2:00 in the morning pushing the buttons, and
That's that's hobby.
And you have to respect that because
For real.
it's a huge sacrifice.
It is.
For me, it was a big sacrifice because think about it, like we're just talking about the DJing is basically like supplementing your income. But those broadcasts are usually Friday and Saturday night. The time that you're getting booked, right? The time you could go make the most money. So you have to go turn down that gig to go make $8 an hour over here. At least that's what it was for me. So you have to it's a long game. You know what I'm saying? You have to be you can't be short sighted, right? Yeah. So
you talk about that too.
You can't think about this little couple $100 that you're missing when your eyes are on this bag. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're really. So it's
get
just
the bag, get the bag, get it.
And the powers that be, my higher ups, I think they saw that. They saw the grind. I was always available, man. That was the best thing that I had for my situation.
Yeah, the flexibility.
I was there, bro. Davy, can you? Yes. You don't even have to finish the sentence. I'm there.
I'll be there.
And they after that they trusted me enough that from board opping, my first time on the air we had a techno show. It was from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay, now.
Yeah, bro. I ain't know nothing about techno music, but they're like, yo, we need a host. You want to do it? And I was like, hell yeah. And then that.
Can they get a hell yeah?
That was funny.
I mean, that turned into doing weekends. Got my own show. I had a show Saturdays with this DJ. His name's DJ Noodles. Fix Your Face.
Okay.
Yeah. We had this thing. It was called Fix Your Face Radio. Noodles is an incredibly talented DJ, producer. He's also very deep in the game. He's very connected. And not that I even got any of his connections, but what it was I saw the way he moved in the game.
Like learning.
I just saw the way he operated and just kind of dealt with people and cultivated relationships. It's all about relationships, you know? So I learned a lot from
you're
Noodles.
giving game to these people now.
Yeah, man. I learned, you have to. I learned a ton from Noodles. From the DJing side to the production. Anytime there was a hot song, he was working on a remix. It opened so many doors for him. He was nonstop. I was really happy to have him on, to do a show with him, And then from there, I got Sundays. I got to do Sundays with Chris John for a while. Yeah, who's another amazing, talented, incredible DJ who's gone all over the world and DJ'd, with Fat Joe, and has just done he's done so much. So man, I'm in this situation where I'm just learning from people that are just giving me so much. I'm learning a lot, and it meant the world to me. And I soaked up a lot of game. I felt like I was able to progress a little quicker than a lot of people.
Just because you got the mentorship.
Yeah, man. I was in a great situation. I really was. And from there, I did that for a really long time. It felt like a really long time. And finally, a position opened up on the morning show. And I was ready. I had paid my dues.
Yeah, you got the experience.
And they trusted me. They knew that, they knew that I was about it and I wanted it and I was hungry. So Orlando gave me an opportunity. I remember, I'll never forget the phone call. He was like, yo, it was a Thursday. He was like, do you want to sit in on the morning show? I was like, what time do I show up? And so sitting in on the morning show, Thursday, Friday, and then by Monday, it was like, yo, we expect you here every day. I was like, yes.
That's what's
up, man. So long. I'm glad you asked.
For real. And you know what? Honestly, I was kind of I didn't think I was funny enough. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I was anything enough. I always thought I was going to be on at night. I felt I never even thought about
shift.
it. Yeah, I thought, right. And I also thought I was going to be in there by myself. I never thought I would be in there with three other people on part of a morning show. But really, I was like, I'm like, yo, I don't think I'm quick. I don't think I'm
Right.
good enough. Am I funny?
It's
Are
a
people
different
gonna like me?
dynamic. Yeah, it's a different dynamic.
Man. And you know what? It's the biggest blessing ever, especially because there's a lot of like fake personalities and people trying to like play a role and trying to fit into like what they think people want them
Right.
to be or whatever.
Like fit the mold.
Yeah. And it was never like that here. It was always just be you. You know?
Right.
It was just be you.
Wow, 94.1.
Straight up. They didn't want you to talk like this. How some stations hits all day, or you know they didn't want you to.
That's our intro.
Yeah, man. It just fit, and then shortly thereafter, Speaking of Noodles used to do the morning mix. And Noodles is a beast, man, and he got a great opportunity, I think, in Miami. Couldn't do the morning mix anymore. So I had been DJing, paying my dues DJing, just as long as I've been paying my dues on the radio thing. So I was like, yo, you want to do the mix? So, okay, let's go. All I'm thinking in my head is, my price just went up.
For sure on that one.
Straight up, bro. So I've been doing that mix for a while now, which is awesome. So I get to DJ every morning too.
Yeah,
7:30.
The booty mix.
The blast off mix every morning, man. It's awesome. So
Hell
you know,
yeah, bruh.
I'm in a great situation with that, man. I'm blessed. But you know, with all that blessings and all of those, you know, opportunities come a big responsibility. You know,
for sure.
And you know, giving back, giving game. You know, one of my favorite things that we get to do every year is the Great American Teach-In. That's the best. I look forward to that. It's coming up in a couple months. And we go to schools, and we've been doing it ever since we were on the street, or since I was on the street team. Go to schools and get to talk to kids, you know. And honestly, they laugh at me, they make fun of me because I always request like the older kids. You know, I want to do the high schools. I want to do like stuff like that because I really feel like I can connect with a lot of kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's important.
Like
That's super important.
I
reggaeton horns for that, bro. Yeah, that's it, man. Yes, sir.
Because I feel like those kids can relate to us on a different level, you know, and
listen to the same music, so
right,
like,
on a
they
music
trust
level,
us.
and like I got in trouble growing up, like a lot of stuff been through the path, and if you tell the story, you know, nothing's handed to you. And I just love it, man. I even try to reach out to different teachers and schools throughout the year because, like, if you're an administrator or something, you would like, and not just myself, anybody on the morning show or at WiLD for that, like, really, that whole giving back thing is major, man. It really is. I remember being at Full Sail and us having a speaker one day. It was this dude, he owned a studio. He was a graduate. He owned a recording studio, and he had like a bunch of different situations going on. And I just remember his pep talk was just so like motivating. You know, sometimes you need that
voice again.
Yeah, bro.
Bam, 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 bam.
You need that battery in your back sometimes, you know? And so that's what it's all about, man. It's just
That's
about
what's up, man.
Giving back.
Well, I'm glad to see a brother keep succeeding and keep grinding, man. I always gotta say
Bro,
congratulations.
this
man,
is
all
the
the time.
beginning, bro. This is just the beginning. We got a long ways to go, man.
Oh yeah,
all of us. All of us in this room, man. All of us in this room. We got a long ways to go, and we had the opportunity. You know,
That's how I see it too.
Like Nia, you're from a place that there's a lot of people that are working super hard, but just are lacking that opportunity.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel very blessed. Like, I'm from Costa Rica.
Yo,
Okay.
shout out to Costa Rica, yo.
time.
Play the reggaeton horns for that.
Just gotta want to hear a horn every 2 seconds,
And
man.
I mean, there's just some places that those opportunities don't exist, and I just feel you got to keep it in perspective. Like here, I don't know a lot of people. I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning every single day, goes hard, stays consistent, and isn't experiencing some level of success. You know, so all that to say, keep grinding and just trying to count your blessings. You know, I'm not trying to preach. Just happy to be here, man.
That's real
man.
We all got a long ways to go, though.
Super positive.
That's
right
all,
there.
man. We just got a long ways to go. We got a lot to accomplish.
Man, well, we had this gentleman here for an hour. He
Already?
blessed us.
It didn't feel like an hour. I thought it was 5 minutes,
I gotta
bro.
say, I appreciate that,
Already,
man.
bro. I appreciate y'all boys having
man,
me.
Seriously. I
I need you to drop that Bottle Girls record at the end of this podcast. I know it's probably breaking format. I know you probably don't get down like that, but I need the record at the end of the podcast. Can we make that happen? You can get back to me. You don't have to answer, you don't have to answer right now.
We will make that happen.
There you go.
We will make that happen. We'll make that happen.
Gracias.
And before I leave, man, shout out my boy Dollars. Check out the Tattoo Soap. Go to thetattoosoap.com. The tattoo shop is called Tattoo 05. That's coming soon. So get booked. We'll be hiring. I know we're gonna get hit up by a lot of artists that want to get in. We'll be hiring shortly. And big up to the artists on our record. Shout out to Tom G. Yes. Shout out to Tampa Tony.
For sure.
Big up to Young Dread. Much love to Knowledge and my man Alex at Grand Bay Studio for being gracious enough to let us hold down his facility, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
For sure.
And the podcast, bitch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Act like you know.
Thank you, Davy, for stopping by. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Tito, you already know. He said 1,000 reggaeton horns. Jesus, man. A lot of knowledge that Davy dropped.
Couldn't handle it.
There was a lot of knowledge, and I appreciate him for all that. Thank you again for coming by, man, for sure.
Already.
And if you don't know,
now you know.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
And if you don't know, now you know.
We gon' make the bottle girls tired. Is it me or is the bottle girls fine? We gon' go up on the bottle girls live. Pop another bottle, make the bottle girls fine. Ayy, bottle girls, I fucked up by them bottle girls. Bottle girls, I fucked up by them bottle girls. Big lit, sexy with a lot of girls. They all bad, but I'm fucking with them bottle. Yeah, bottle girls, they be bad, make you wanna tip them. Titties and ass sitting right, dressing like a stripper. We hit the section and order bottles off the ripper. Blow a check so the babies know this shit official. Bottle girls be looking better than you regular hoes. So many niggas on the trail, baby, scratch your clothes. The bottle girls gon' be fine no matter where you go. That ass eating up with shots licking edible. Taking shots, popping pussy in my section. Man, I get a bottle girl pregnant. The matching outfits, I just wanna see the print. Gas getting rolled up, money getting spent. Bottle girl, we gon' make the bottle girls tired. Is it me or is the bottle girls fine? We gon' go up on the bottle girls live. Pop another bottle, make the bottle girls fine. Ayy, bottle girls, I fucked up by them bottle girls. Bottle girls, I fucked up by them bottle girls. Big lit, sexy with a lot of girls. They all bad, but I'm fucking with them bottle girls.
This bottle girl is so fine, and she got a job in the daytime. She said she never got her ass and tits done, but her homegirls done got some. Listen, baby, I just wanna see you glow up. Write them bags, why them haters throw up. I'm a tip, keep them drinks grown up. Them hoes in the fishnets filled up. I'm looking at your ass when you walk away. Other women looking at you and they ain't gay. With 2 drinks in her hand, watch her dance. Won't spill a drop, watch her jam. Sparkles in her hand, do it for the gram. I'ma take that ass like Uncle Sam. Sparkles in her hand, do it for the gram. I'ma take that ass like Uncle Sam.
We gon' make the bottle girls tired. Is it me or is the bottle girls fine? We gon' go up on the bottle girls live. Pop another bottle, make the bottle girls fine. Ayy, bottle girls, I fucked up by them bottle girls. Bottle girls, I fucked up by them bottle girls. Big lit, sexy with a lot of girls. They all bad, but I'm fucking with them bottle girls.
I'm fucking with the bottle girl, I order up a 10. Fresh out the trap and you know I'm going in. She gon' bust it open like a Tatiana. I'ma cook the dope like it's Benihana. Rose sippin', Fendi my body, I'm drippin'. Your hoe on my line and she tryna get missing. I'm looking for a bottle girl running up a check. 20 bottles of the most, so you know I had a flex. I want the top shelf stuff, I can't settle for the low. All these diamonds on my neck, so you know I'm on go.